check, 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 chop it down, check, 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 chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down.
I just appreciate everybody
Damn, set,
man.
Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive, this is Trap or Dive.
Here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on to the morning trappers? Shout out to the good man. I hope, you know what I'm saying, coined the phrase, the morning trappers. Let me go ahead and get this music right. Hold on, boom. Get my music going. I need my music this morning. Here we go. There we go. Let me get the comments going. Rich, what's up, man? Good morning. Hey, first off, Rich, let's get off on the right foot this Monday morning. My name is MUAL. Let's get off to the right foot this morning. But nah, I appreciate you checking in. Good morning to everybody that's, oh my God. Good morning to everybody that's checking in right now live. Good morning to everybody that's checking in down the road on the replay, all that good stuff. If you are new to the Trap or Dive channel, YouTube, Twitch, all that good stuff, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that follow button. All that good stuff, man. Help the show out. First and foremost, get those administrative items out of the way. Hey, it's all good, brother. You know, it's like the people see, like, it's like it reminds me of the emails at work. Cause like I get it. My name on a personal side, right? My name is JAMUAL. A lot of people are used to JAMAL or JAMAAL, all that good stuff, right? So like on the emails, what really agitates me at work, in a playful way, I'm not literally serious, but talking about you, but at work, these guys, they see my name in the email every time that I respond to them, yet they butcher my name every time. I'm like, how does that even happen? My name is right there for you to spell, and you still spell it wrong. Those are the people that really drive me crazy, Rich. So you good, bro? I'm just messing with you. Yes, sir. What's going on, Hulk? The morning trapper, the morning trappers, man. What's going on with y'all, man? This was an interesting game. Appreciate you, by the way. I definitely missed it, bro. Yeah, bro. I appreciate the love, bro. The post game show was crazy. Like a lot of good things came out of it. Obviously, we escaped the doom side in terms of talking about how we ended up losing the game. Unfortunately for us, things worked out in our favor, and we were able to turn things around. Washington was. Jamal checking in. Yes, sir. You got the two A's in your name. Exactly. Like it just happens. So yours is easier. Yours is easier. I don't even know anybody out here who has a U in their name in terms of Jamal's. I think I swear, like, I'm the only one that I know. Hey, it don't matter though. It don't matter. It doesn't work. The copy and paste don't work for him. And then here you go. I just talked to Rich about this. Hey, it's MUAL. But nah, let's get to it. How y'all feeling about the game a day later? I think one of the bigger things, and I don't know how you all feel, I don't want to mess up the mood as we're just getting started. Only reason why I'm bringing this up is because, you know, if you all follow me on Twitter, I'm pretty active on Twitter, right? So, for all that being said, you know, and you all know me for some time, ever since I started doing the morning show, right? I break down the good and the bad. Preseason was different. You know, you're not really worried about a win-loss outcome. Like, that doesn't matter. But, you know, I think we're starting to see the allegiance line up with what's going on with Washington. And only reason why I say that is, like, I think this week is going to be tough from a analysis standpoint, because it's the first week. Washington escaped with a dub, and yes, I'm gonna use that word escape because a day later, the more I think about it, fellas and ladies, if we got some people in here, 757 big dog, what's going on? Good morning to the morning trappers. I think as the week goes along, you know, you're always worried about just getting that dub, right? But from a day later standpoint, this was a game that Jacksonville, like, they had moments in which they had control of this game. They had a few moments where they had control of this game. So for me, a day later, I'm just like, bro, I'm not taking this dub for granted. Washington has a lot to work on throughout this week. That period between the late second all the way up to the fourth quarter for Washington, that is something where it's like offensively and even still defensively as well. That is the gap that they need to fix. And I can't wait to really get into the film. And I got a lot of work to do today, everybody. So just bear with me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna open up the floor to everybody right now. Anybody and everybody that want to hop in, I'm opening the floor to everybody. And if you want to chop it up, get anything off your chest the day after the Washington Commanders victory, we can definitely do that. But I got a lot of work to do today in terms of Washington and things like that, and just looking at some stuff and even scouting outside of Washington. I got to look at AJ Green and some tackle that plays for the Titans or the Colts, something like that. Ultimately, point being, this is going to be a week where it's like that second quarter, late second quarter to up until the fourth quarter is going to be the problem that they have to resolve ASAP. Because when you go into the game against the Detroit Lions, said it on the Hogs Haven podcast, you're not going to be so lucky to go on the road against a team who just lost, putting up 35 points. I want to see how they do it. Apparently, it was like a lot of garbage time numbers, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But you're not going to be able to get so lucky against the Detroit Lions, who just lost at home in week 1 and has another home game to try and get their record back to 1-1 or 500. So you got to get that second quarter, late second quarter to fourth quarter period. You have to get that shit fixed ASAP. Whatever the issues were, you got to get it fixed ASAP. Let's go ahead and check in with the game. Worried about that D-line. Yes. So Jonathan Allen looked pretty healthy after the game. Like, he didn't look concerned at all with his injury. So that was encouraging. Dre and AJ tried to tell me about the Darren Matthews. I want everybody to know. I guess I'll put my record out there because I realized I didn't mention it on the post-game show. But I will say, when you're 320 pounds, not many things, especially when you have a knee injury, not many things are going to be able to get you off the field in terms of people by themselves, especially when you have so much weight off of your leg. So getting carted off, I don't think that was a huge deal. Now, it may ultimately be like a torn ligament. Fingers crossed it's not. But it may ultimately be that severe. But when you're that heavy, I wouldn't look into the cart as the denominator of, okay, he's done for the season. He may miss some time, but I don't think the story is over yet with Big Phil. And for my sake, because I love the pick, and for him to go through that in the first game, it looked bad, right? But I don't think it may not be that bad. I don't think the story is closed just yet until that MRI comes out. So yeah, I'm worried about that D-line, Rich. But I also think that in terms of Fedarian, that wasn't the sign of him getting carted off was not that big of a deal just yet. As we move forward to like some other pieces, I gotta give, hey, we're Tyler at J Tyler, and it was somebody else I believe that was in here too. I gotta give credit to Duron Payne. I liked his outing, his week 1 outing, man. It was impressive. That interior for Washington, the interior defensive line, had a really successful day, pass rushing, creating pressure on Trevor Lawrence, and obviously working the Jaguars offensive front as well. So I'm very happy with what I saw from that defensive line from a production standpoint. They only had 2 sacks on Trevor Lawrence, and I think the bigger story, at least early on, with the Jaguars and Washington, especially that defensive line for Washington, was the fact that they weren't necessarily getting pressure early on. Like, Trevor Lawrence had time in the pocket, but ultimately they started fixing that with some pressures, sending cornerback blitzes, Benjamin St-Juste had a really good pressure on the edge. I think it was another person who I'm escaping. If not Benjamin St-Juste twice, but I think it was Bobby McCain one time as well. Some really good corner pressures by Jack Del Rio, forcing the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hand rather soon than he anticipated. There was one time where William Jackson got beat and the receiver got behind him, but a fire zone in that instance created pressure for Trevor Lawrence, and he had to force it up, and it wasn't as accurate as he liked. So while he did pick up some of the blitzes in terms of like knowing who to go to, the pressure was effective. So I liked how they kind of mixed up the pressure from the secondary and the defensive line, and then ultimately the defensive line became overbearing. I think Trevor Lawrence had he had probably got hit like 10, 11 times, if I'm not mistaken. That defensive line is going to be interesting. Yes, sir. Morning Trappers. Our defense is garbage, bruh. And I think that's kind of the point I was getting to. I know I was taking a long time to get to it. I just wanted to explain in detail like where my analysis would start. Second quarter into that late fourth, but overall about that defense. If you all think about it, man, look, you had almost 7 yards a carry as the Jaguars defense as the Jaguars offense, and Trevor Lawrence didn't even scramble that many times. And if I'm not mistaken, he probably scrambled less than 4 times. I'm about to double check for a second just to have it up. And let's take a look. Jaguars box score. Trevor Lawrence scrambled 2 times, or had 2 rushes. I don't even know if he tried to scramble, but he had 2 rushes for 4 yards. So essentially 18 carries or 16 carries, 118 yards from your running backs. Ultimately, my point being, these guys missed opportunities. The Jaguars offense did, and that's probably the more disappointing thing. And ultimately, for me, I'm on the side of, look, bro, if you can't stop anybody on defense, you need to make sure you get off the field on 3rd down, and you need to make sure you create some turnovers. That 3rd down defense yesterday, statistically it was good, but when you look at the other side of the ball, there should have been some big plays made by Jacksonville. And this is the part where it's like, when you look at that defense, I'm not entirely too sure that they turned the corner just yet statistically. You got Detroit up next. I can't wait to watch their film and see like what good and what bad came out of it. But I don't think that's going to be the ultimate issue early on. I do think when you get to Philly, though, a team who's going to love running the football against Washington's front, you're going to come across some issues. For sure, a lot to clean up. Escaped. Trevor Lawrence is mid. I saw you yesterday talking all that trash about Trevor Lawrence, man. Look, bruh, I get it. He had some overthrows. He missed some big opportunities on his side. I personally think he just had a good game, bruh. I really do. I think he had a really good game. I mean, not slice it. I think he had a good game. And just some missed opportunities that come along with the ebbs and flows of a 60-minute football game. That's just how I viewed it, to be honest with you. I think it's important, like, when he does give those opportunities to his receivers, that they make plays. Like, I don't know if we will be saying, like, from a collective standpoint, I don't know if we will be saying the same thing if they connect on a couple of touchdowns that the receivers dropped, because in essence, Washington would have probably lost the game. Like, think about that swing, that 19-point swing when they were down 14-3 to go up 22-14, right? 22-14. They also missed 10 points between that time too. Remember, the missed field goal to end the half, and then the touchdown, the arguable touchdown that ETN dropped. I personally thought that ETN probably would have got tackled short, but I think it's up for debate. So if you thought that ETN would have gotten the end zone on that 4th and 3 at the goal line, that's one thing, right? So I say I count that in this scenario. So that's a 10-point second quarter for Jacksonville that they missed out on. And if you want to count those 10 points, that's a from a 19-point swing to a 29-point swing. So now you're up 32-14. Gotta do the math there. I'm surprised I did the math. Jacksonville ain't no pushover, just good to see our offense able to score quick. Need to calm down on dumb turnovers. What do you all think about 757 and everybody else? What do you all think about the the second interception. Like, we can talk about that first one. That first one, he said it himself. He was late, bad throw. Excuse me. He saw the guy, he saw his receiver, but it was late. Ultimately, bad throw, but it was a late throw that he should have made much sooner. If not getting rid of the ball, it led to a turnover and things like that. Obviously, turnovers are no good in all instances, and I think those 2 turnovers itself were pretty bad. I thought that second one, a lot of people were saying Trayvon Walker made a play on that one, and I agree. Trayvon Walker made a play, but guess what? It takes 2 to tango. Of course, football things happen and things like that, but when you have that turnaround where you see so much traffic in the area in which you're trying to get the screen to, that's what creates the problem. I think that's one of those instances where instead of hurrying to get the ball out of your hands and get it to your playmaker, you probably should live to see another down and actually dead it. Throw it in the dirt, bruh. And I actually think Carson Wentz said that after the game. And that's what ultimately helps people understand, like, Trayvon Walker made a play, but who helped Trayvon Walker make the play? Who helped him make the play? So I think I love the resilience from Carson Wentz, right? And I don't want to make it seem like it's all negative, because four touchdown passes, bro, right? That's incredible. 4 touchdown passes to the top 3 receivers on the team: Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel. And the rookie got the game-winning touchdown. And he made the play. Because Carson Wentz I don't know. I got to look at the film on that one. I'm not going to say he underthrew him. But Jahan Dotson made the play. Carson Wentz gave him an opportunity, and he came through for the game winner. And it looked so easy to him. It looked very easy to him. So I loved the resilience of Carson Wentz. I love the fact that these guys were able to really put pressure on Jacksonville's defense in an open field standpoint, forcing these guys to make plays in open field, make these tackles. They couldn't tackle Terry. They damn sure couldn't tackle Curtis Samuel. And then Antonio Gibson, being the strong back that he is, they couldn't bring him down from an open field standpoint as well. So I loved how Scott Turner was able to utilize his weapons and get them opportunities in open space. Say this, they handled business at the end. I appreciate everybody who's just checking in, man. If you are new to the Trap or Dive podcast, if you are new to the Trap or Dive channels, YouTube, Twitch, however which way you are watching, always be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, all those good things, man. It helps the show's growth. I will put the invite back into anybody that wants to hop out here, because I got a lot of work to do, but I want to make sure that we have some time. Things like that. The links in the chat for everybody that's just checking in and things like that. So yes, Carson Wentz again, overall good game. He just had a couple scary moments. Like the offense had a couple scary moments altogether, because those drives in which they really had 20 something plays really didn't net anything. Like two drives they went 5 and out. They scored more points in a loss than we did in a win. Oh yeah, Detroit. Yeah, but that's why I say we got to see how that game ended. Because at one point I think they was down like 31-14. Forrest is the real MVP. That's a fact. That's my cousin right there. I don't know if we really cousins, but I'm gonna claim him. Forrest came out and replaced a Curl, and bro, like, he made his presence felt all over the field, from a coverage standpoint and from a contact standpoint. That boy was striking. I loved it. And to be honest with you, I can't wait to see what the 3 safety set is going to look like with Forrest, Curl, and Bobby, and how they utilize these guys. Because obviously, if y'all remember in the preseason, Derek Forrest was the go-to for the Buffalo nickel. Him and Bobby McCain played up high, and Curl was down in the box. So I really can't wait to see what that looks like with Cam Curl back on the field. Camille showed up and hushed the doubters. Yep. And also, by the way, for everybody, like I did it when Curtis Samuel came on the field against Carolina. I did it all that. First thing I said was, "Hey, bruh, you know what? I'm gonna shut up for now." I felt like I was on Friday. Like when when Smokey was like, "Man, I'm mad. I'm about to mess the quote up because it's been a minute." But yeah, I be talking my shit when he not around, when Debo not around. But when he here, I be quiet. I be quiet. Hey, but look, when Curtis on the field, bro, I ain't talking. You know what I'm saying? He can have it. But if he get hurt, I'm right back here. I'm talking shit again. It's like, nah, let me stop, bro. I ain't gonna talk no shit, man. Samuels, it was good to see him back on the field, bro. His impact is important. I think on a serious note, when it comes to Curtis Samuel, 757, and everybody else in the chat, I think one of the biggest things that you saw immediately with his impact in Washington is that people undervalue the quote unquote gadget guy, because like gadget seems as like you're only in here for a reason. But when you see how shifty Curtis Samuel is, yes, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars, but there ain't that many people or that many teams, regardless of how good the defense is, there ain't that many people who's going to be able to bring down Curtis Samuel on the first attempt in open field. That's all across the league. That's not just Jacksonville. So that's the thing that people need to understand is when you look at Curtis Samuel and you say that he's a gadget guy, don't discredit him. Don't slight him because you think he a gadget guy. If you think he a gadget guy, he's probably one of the most elite. And I don't want to say elite in the sense of an overall player. Like a receiver, you have to do a lot of good things, right? But I'm talking about gadget. Being able to take those inside carries, take those handoffs out of the backfield, being able to use them on the bubble screens. I'm not saying they did that this week because they didn't use them on bubble screens, but I'm saying anything at or near the line of scrimmage where you get the ball in his hands quickly, like that is an ultimate player. That's an ultimate weapon. And that's a guy who can get you those cheap yards. Like think about after the play where Jahan Dotson took the 10-yard loss on the reverse, right? The next play, what did they do? They gave the ball to Curtis Samuel on like a 5-yard pass or maybe even a 2-yard pass, and he took that jump 9 yards. So automatically you go from 2nd and 20 to 3rd and 11. And then you get the encroachment that helps you out. Now you get 3rd and 6, and now you're continuing the drive. So he can take a 2-yard pass where somebody's right on his ass and then piece it off for another 7 yards after the catch. A dog, bro. And I think we saw that game 1, and I'm interested to seeing how they continue to utilize him moving forward, because if that's what you call a gadget guy, hey, bro, he got his money's worth at least. I think as far as we have to adjust faster. We started with the quick game stuff to counter the blitz package. They started playing cloud 2 and sitting on the short stuff. Hey, I don't have much to say about that one, not like in a negative way, but I haven't seen much of film yet. That is the plan today. That is the plan tomorrow as well. But to your point, in terms of adjusting quicker, I did like the opening script. When things got a little muddy in that second quarter. I mean, obviously that coming out of that second half, there was a lull clearly that allowed Jacksonville to get back into it and stay in the game altogether. That was interesting to see. So yeah, I think that in terms of adjusting / staying alive, that's definitely something that needs to be paying attention to, especially on the film side. Payne, yes, we talked about Payne for sure. Got a lot of energy. I love it. Talked about Fuller at one point this preseason as well. Receivers ain't gonna be scared to go at Kendall Fuller. Quarterbacks ain't gonna be scared to go at Kendall Fuller. From a schematic standpoint, I'm not gonna say he's a liability, but I will say he's somebody where sometimes he may need some help. What's going on, Mike? What's going on? We didn't start going vertical until the fourth quarter. Yep. Yeah, great call by Turner to hit him deep. Late call, Jags slacking. Are we just going to have to live with those INTs? Yes, sir. We definitely going to have to live with those INTs. I think the thing is, and I think this is an excellent question, like a reminder type of question, Kilby. Appreciate you checking in. When we say Carson doing this his whole career or fixable, at the end of the day, you are who you are. I think the only thing that you can really fix from a stamp, like mechanics, is going to be hard to give. It's hard to fix, right? Because you done made it to this league doing exactly what you're doing. Like some tweaks can help, but ultimately the person who you are after like a 7 or 8 year slate for Carson, it's been 6 years. But like when you have that resume on file, like your profile is developed in a sense, right? But can you win with it? I think that's the ultimate question. Yes, you can win with it. You have to find a way to mask the deficiencies and some of the flaws in people's games, and that's what the strengths of a coordinator can do. Ultimately, the player has to make the plays, but if you can do your best job as a coordinator or a coach, communicating with the individual, telling them what you need out of them, being transparent and making sure that we can win if you do this, that's where things work out. My guy Alex checking in on the Twitch. What's going on? Let me go ahead and catch it with, we got a bunch of, oh my God. Let me go ahead and scroll through the comments. I know Hawk is in here waiting, so I'm gonna go hurry up through the comments some quick and get my boy Hawk in this thing. As always, let me go ahead and send the invite out to anybody else and send this in. Now that one, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about this one, but I think it's more of a matchup than it is like a actual principle, like than it is like, all right, Jamin, I want you on Christian Kirk. I think it just naturally happened like that, and I think it was a credit to Jacksonville to find the mismatch and exploit it. Because in an ideal world, they would put Benjamin St. Juste or Kendall Fuller on Christian Kirk. But I think the matchup required Jamin to check Christian Kirk, and obviously you take advantage of that. First game, 16 more offense. The defense will be better. Lions are scrappy. Peterson called a good game for him. I agree. Trevor got to learn the ball, throw a ball away. As for our defense, I love the aggressive attacking, but Davis, Carter, and Gert, yeah. Etienne, Etienne had I'm surprised they didn't run it more with him. Etienne was, bro. Hey, we talked about it earlier. If you know, you know. Etienne and that offense, they could have done some damage against Washington. James Robinson had the big day, but Etienne could have had a better day. He only had 4 carries, and he had one that was called back for a holding, I believe. But he had 5 carries in a sense, and that 5th one broke big. Crowd rebirth. Wentz stared the corner down. Losing Matthews is going to hurt. Payne contract coming soon. We will see, big dog. We will see. Payne with ball this year. You heard it here first. Did you watch William Jackson, the third side of the field? They did throw his full times, but he did better than Fuller. Allen made a great play that saved this game too. Facts. Yes, sir. Hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate you, 757. Anybody saying that Scott didn't have it as a play caller simply wasn't watching. Yes, he could have ran in certain spots, but the chains kept moving. Curtis continues to flash. Third down prowess. We got more first downs on offense. Do the fans still hate Scott Turner? That's an excellent question. OG, I'm gonna make sure we save that for the Tuesday show. Not like that, not the hate word, but we're gonna make sure we use it. Forrest McCain will be on the hashes, curl in the box. Maul got mind control. When he playing, he shut up, but when he out, he'll be talking again. That's a fact. Samuel put them boys out there on his shoes. Fuller got to get out in the slot where he belongs. He gets burnt, causes yellow flags. Hey, man, I think they put Samuel to show out there to the other teams. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. But let's get into the game, man. We got some people checking in. Hawk and Polo. Hawk and Alex, man, the good fellas, the morning trappers. I'm gonna get these guys in right quick again. Let's go ahead and send the link into the chat. Anybody and everybody want to make sure they get an opportunity. Like I said, I got a lot of work to do this morning, bruh. And forgive me in advance for everybody who does check in on a daily with the morning shows. I got to figure out the schedule because it's so much work to do. I just need to figure out like how this is going to work. Maybe I streamline this to an hour, but we always get our Monday, Wednesday, Friday fix in. We'll see. Friday may be a little bit longer. But anyway, I'm just letting you all know as I think things through how I can manage my time and things like that, so we can all chop it up and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and get the guys in. Again, the link is in the chat on Twitch and on YouTube if you want to join and chop it up with the guys. So here we go. Let me go ahead and mute this music. Let me go ahead and add the guys in. Boom. There we go. Hold on, wait. There we go. All right, now we got everybody in this thing. Fellas, Alex, Hawk, good morning, man. What's up with the morning trappers, bruh?
Morning, man.
Yes.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Hey, man, Alex Ball, man. You know, man. Shout out to the morning trappers, man. Hey, look at man. We on Trap or Dive, man. It's the best morning show out here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you practice your YouTube etiquette. Like, comment, share, subscribe, man.
Indeed.
Appreciate you, big dog. Hey, I'm opening the floor up to you all, man. Y'all take this conversation wherever y'all want to go. You know what time it is, whatever. Anything Commanders on your mind, y'all got the floor. I'm here for it.
Hey, Alex, if you don't mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, look, Alex, if you don't mind, man, I got to go ahead.
Please.
Hey, Alex, let me tell you something, man. I probably should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. You know what I'm saying? Last Friday, I said to myself, man, we about to lose this daggone game. I'm watching the game. I'm
You
like,
had him putting up 40.
I knew it was gonna happen. Man, and then all of a sudden, Jahan Dawson went ahead, came up clutch like a daggone first round pick ought to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dawson is the complete antithesis of Josh Doxson. You know what I'm saying? Former first round pick. I don't know if y'all go back as far as like Devin Thomas and Malcolm Kelly, but man,
Lord
you know what, they came. Yeah, but look though, they came up big. Hey, you know what? That optimism that Alice had, I just wanted to tell you, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, coach. You know what I'm saying? I did not listen to this, man.
Hey, what you said? You said Washington need to go ahead and hire him, bro. Where Julie Donaldson at? We can get that man. We can get that man a job and shit.
Hey, where is Julie Donaldson? Because this man went ahead. I ain't gonna lie. I almost took Washington at the end. You know what I'm saying? And guess you know what? And my decision got me knocked out of my high stakes survival pool. So I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? Jacksonville on the Survivor?
I took Jacksonville on the survival pool, Joe.
Oh my God. Hey, Alex, talk to us, man. No, because Hawk is tripping over here. I would have never did. I mean, I hate the after the fact because like I do the thing, I do the gambling side, and when I lose bets, people do that to me. So I'm not gonna sit here and mess you up like that. But Alex, talk to us, bro. What's going on with this game, man? What's on your mind with these Commanders and Jaguars and stuff like that?
Let me spin it for you like this, man, because you know I got to bring the energy this morning. I damn near lost my voice the way I was hooting and hollering in that first quarter, first half, man, because those boys is getting active. But I'm going to say this again, and I ain't looking for no flowers. Scott Turner is that guy. I'm going to let y'all know, man. Scott Turner is very much that guy, man. The way he utilized Curtis, the way they actually stuck to the script of using Antonio Gibson out the backfield as a pass catcher and a rusher, and I loved him implementing J.D. McKissick. Like it was in spurts. I think J.D. had like maybe how many carries, like 4 or 5, but it was those tough good yards we needed. We were in those second
3 for 8, and then 3 for 20 in the air.
Bro, those down and short situations, we put ourselves in favorable spots outside of some of the miscues offensively with penalties and everything. But dog, it looked so good. And when I tell you, 28 is the magic number. If they can touch that 28, baby, it's not too many games we gonna lose, man. And they got that. I love the fact that Carson stuck with it. I love the post game, you know, Ron giving him the game ball. He put it on him, man. I can't have those two, you know, but that's the beauty of Carson Wentz, man. A lot of highs, some lows, but they balled back, man. It was 11 minutes left. My boys texting like, man, this game is over, man. Same old shit. I'm like, bro, y'all got it.
I told my boys, buckle up, bro.
Same thing. I said it's 11 minutes on the clock. It's an 8-point game, bro. You don't stop till that last whistle is blown, and they came all the way through, bro. You can't ask for a better response, man. The way that drive was conducted, the way they chewed time off that motherfucking clock, man, it was outstanding. It was good to see. Lovely.
I think that the one of the more important things that you mentioned too on that game-winning touchdown drive for Jahan Dotson, that's as perfect as you can execute. I don't want to say perfect, but it's as good as you can execute a 4-minute situation. Like when people think about 2-minute drills, 4-minute offense, you're down, but you're also taking time off the clock against Jacksonville. So ultimately it's going to come down to you scoring that touchdown and go ahead or field goal. Cause at that point it was still within the field goal's reach, but you went for that touchdown, ultimately taking the lead regardless. But that 4-minute drill is when you're in control. You're clearly in the plus side of the territory. You're in field goal range. I did not want it to go down to a kicker, and by God's grace, it never came down to a kicker, because if you saw across this league and even in our game, oh my God, bro.
It was something, man. It was something.
Bro, this entire week 1 is defined by kickers. Like that shit was crazy. Yeah. So I did not want it to go down to that 4-minute. I mean, to that field goal situation. I'm glad they were able to get it to the end zone. I'm glad that I shouldn't say glad because I do get nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you personally. I get nervous when you're in a 3rd and 8 situation and you go for the gusto like Carson Wentz did. This is not just a Carson Wentz thing. This is more so around the league, especially if I got money on the team. Like, let's get this first down type shit. But but Carson Wentz went the end zone. I'm glad we were able to convert it from that standpoint. But ultimately, like, that's as good as you get in a 4-minute situation. You're getting a touchdown out of it. You milk the clock. You get in the ball with under 2 minutes to go. I think they had 2 timeouts left. And ultimately, you keep you put the pressure on back or put the pressure back on the Jaguars to really do something offensively, and the defense essentially closes it out. So to your point, Alex, man, that last drive was the biggest part, was closing it out with 4 minutes and making sure that you give them as little time as possible. Even if you can milk it all the way down to under a minute, but either way, scoring, forcing them to go to field and get a touchdown, the best outcome that they can have, fellas.
Facts, man.
What you think about Hawk, man? What's going on with your boys in Washington? What was some good and some bad for your side? Hawk, you there?
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Nah, you good? You good?
But yeah, man, let me tell you something, man. They yeah, I mean, honestly, this type of win, just
Hey, Mike is hilarious.
kind of haven't seen it since Kirk Cousins. Kind of haven't seen it since Kirk Cousins with the what was that game? You like that game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a while back. So
Yeah.
I mean, for them to go ahead and first of all, week 1, let me tell you something. As dramatic as as dramatic fashion as this win was, again, I haven't seen it from us in a while. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Shout out to the players for executing. Shout out to the coaches. Carson Wentz, despite throwing them 2 picks, and I ain't gonna lie, I was rooting against you when it was 22-14. I mean, and I know Washington my team, but it's just like, to me, it was just like, yo, I'm tired of y'all getting me pumped up. You know what I'm saying? But I
Emotional
probably should
roller
listen to
coaster.
my man Alex. You know what? I'm dubbing him King Alex. I should have listened to Coach King Alex, because this dude went ahead. He came with the energy Friday. I mean, again, you know what? They got the W and that, but however, moving forward though, y'all, next week against them daggone Lions, they scored more points in the loss than we did in the win. We better be ready.
I think the scariest, or I don't want to use that word. I would say the more I guess the focal point of that game is understanding what happened against Jacksonville. Like, I guess before I even get into that part with you all, I wanted to continue on, because we talked about we talked about Carson and we talked about Scott Turner. I think the way this offense is operating with the limited Logan Thomas, Armani Rogers he got in the mix early, and I liked how they got him involved. That was a well-designed play to get him involved, and he had a free 23 yards before getting touched at the end. So I liked what they did with Armani Rogers. But my point being, you ain't got Cole Holcomb back. Cole Turner. Got all these Coles. You don't have Cole Turner back yet. Yeah, all the Coles. You don't got Cole Turner back yet. And then also, you kind of see how, like, what Logan can do for you in essence, or we know what Logan can do for you, but he's not fully back yet is what I'm getting at. He's not fully healthy, clearly, and it may be something to do with that brace, because he looked very awkward running, and it looked like he wasn't really he's never really been an agile player, but even with that brace, he doesn't look as agile as he used to be. So I just want to see, like, how this offense opens up even further when you can get a Cole Turner back, and then a fully healthy Logan Thomas, because I'm cool with John Bates, but I'm not sitting here thinking that he's like a true receiver threat. Like, I know he can catch the ball, but when you talk about an actual threat, that's your Logan Thomas stretching the field vertically, and that's your Cole Turner's stretching the field vertically as well, and threatening all 3 levels of a defense. All 3 levels of a defense, fellas. So what do you all think about the weapons, man, that they displayed at least against Jacksonville week 1? I know we want to temper the expectations because of who we played, but what do you all think about the potential, knowing that we saw it on the field finally?
Look, I'm going to just put it like this, man. For Carson to come out week 1 and in the preseason, we were kind of trying to see that connection be established for all three of our top receivers to be on the receiving end of those touchdowns. Immaculate. For Jahan Dotson to get 2 of those, it's just the icing on the cake, man. It was wonderful. The offense looked like it was ran to its full capability. And we talked about it on Friday. That red zone efficiency, what they hitting on right now, Jamal? What they hitting
2
on?
for 2. 100%,
right? Hey, so right now we in the
100.
top 1 in the league. Keep that smoking all season. We're going to let that slow smoke all season. Red zone efficiency is going to be us. And you mentioned the weapons. I'm just thinking to myself, when Brian Robinson returns, these guys are going to be able to dictate the pace and control the game with not only a stout running game, but just like how we needed a quick strike, Terry, we talked about being able to score in those 5 or 6 plays. Boom, Terry right over the top. And to see Carson connect with him, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It just looked wonderful. I'm like, bro, this is what we need. Look how quickly we took ourselves out of a jam. It took that whole nervousness pressure. It's like, okay, now the onus is on the defense to go and make the play. And they sure shit did. Bend but don't break. They could definitely be a lot better. It's week 1. Nothing looked perfect. Right. My goodness, man. My goodness. I think this game had to be played and won this way because this is a team who not only from a front office standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, is trying to rewrite the narrative. That game was all encompassing of that. Fighting back the way they did, shaking off the negative plays, and just finding a way to eke it out. Masterful, man. That's exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed, and it was Victory Monday, baby.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I'm going to let you go next, Hawk, about the offensive weapons. I think the biggest thing, too, about that throw to Terry, like you saw a glimpse of how Wentz processes things when he's at his best. Like the high moment, like so you have that. First off, Shaquille Griffin, I think that's who it was. Getting off into bail coverage in the way in which he did, like he had his back towards Terry, is a typical technique. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you fall asleep and not know who's on your side, like Terry McLaurin he's gonna kill you when you have your back to him, and you better be ready to run when you have a Terry McLaurin or have a good feel for where he's at, because when Terry was able to see his guy bullshitting like he did, you saw that acceleration hit as soon as he got probably like 10 yards downfield and he took off. But the thing is, on Carson Wentz's side, you saw him feed into the safety, meaning hit that pump fake and try to get him off the mark and give Terry a chance downfield, and he hit him in stride. And even Carson Wentz said at the end, and I have to put this out there because I do agree with them, because it was hanging up there a little bit, just a tad bit. And he said if it was hanging up there even a little bit more, that safety could have made an opportunity. But ultimately, you for him to have that arm strength, the natural arm strength, even with a poor throw from his standards, to get it there and hit him in stride, like having that anticipation and understanding techniques and understanding your receiver. Because if you have that speed out there and you understand that he has a bail guy who has no idea or no feel for where Terry McLaurin is, you're going to give your guy a shot. And I love the fact that he's playing with that anticipation, and that he's always played with that anticipation. When he's at his best, you'll see that. And you'll see that in other areas of the field, hitting certain zone holes and things like that. So I love to see that side at least show itself early on in the first game.
Yeah.
He was in. No, I'm saying so. Jay, you can play a cover. You can play a zone cover, but bail is the technique of the cornerback. So bail is when you have your back towards the sideline, and that's what I'm talking about. So, like I said, I don't know the coverage. I don't really even try to focus too much on coverages during the TV copy. I look at the film on that side, but I'm saying bail is a technique that he was playing, not necessarily the coverage of the defense. But go ahead, Hawk. Where are you at with the weapons on offense?
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the clutch game-winning touchdown that was caught by Jahan Dotson. I think. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but but if my memory serves me correct, a lot of the Washington media community, a lot of people were clamoring for like Chris Olave or other receivers. We drafted Jahan Dotson. It wasn't too it wasn't too well received. So for this young man to go ahead and have a performance like he did and just ultimately catch that game-winning touchdown, I mean, I gotta give it up for him. You know what I'm saying? Curtis Samuel, you rewrite your narrative as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Just overall great performance by, you know what I'm saying? And also shout out to the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all great, but
I'm about to say,
but though they held up to go ahead and get the win. You know what I'm saying? You said, well, as far as like, well, just to allow Carson Wentz to go ahead, have some time to go ahead and throw the ball. So shout out to the offensive line. And like I said, man, just moving forward, can y'all go ahead and duplicate that performance against Detroit?
That's a fact. I did see somebody mention Sadiq Charles in here as well. I'm trying to pull it up, give him his credit, because Sadiq Charles had some issues. I think Andrew Norwell, if I'm not mistaken, but definitely Sadiq Charles and Wes Schweitzer. Like the play before Wes Schweitzer went out with a hamstring, he got bulldozed. I think 91, whoever that is. But defensively or just problems, let's get into the nasty talk, fellas. I know that didn't sound right, but the bad talk about this team. We got to talk about it. We can't avoid it. It's going to be talked about at some point this week. I know we're on a high, but what concerns you all? And I guess we can close out with this one. What concerns you all about these guys? Matter of fact, let's put it this way. Let's rephrase it. Let's do MVP and LVP for you all. Who was your most valuable player or most valuable unit? And then the same thing, what was your least valuable player or least valuable unit? You can go whichever way you want to with that one.
Most valuable unit. Oh man. I gotta go ahead and go with the defense and the player from that defense. I'll just go ahead and say Derek Forrest, because he went ahead and made the game saving turnover. And God, man, you know what, man? The least favorite unit is the goddamn offense, because y'all got me blown. You know what I'm saying? They got me eliminated from my survival pool. But nah, I say that tongue in cheek, though. I say that, you know what I'm saying, tongue in cheek, though, y'all.
Yeah, you good, bro.
But like, I mean, and again, my least favorite player got that dang on Dotson, man. He went in and caught the touchdown, man. But nah, man. But you know what, though? Just all around good performance, man. But you know what I'm saying. But again, favorite unit, the defense. It will least favorite. Offense. But yeah.
Where you at with this one, Alex? Most valuable player or most valuable unit, and least valuable player or least valuable unit?
Most valuable player for me, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and roll with. Although Jahan got 2 touchdowns and he deserves it, I'm definitely gonna give it to Curtis. Just. Yeah. Showing his explosiveness again in his return to football, how dynamic he is and how key he is in this offense. It can't even be overstated, understated. Like, Curtis really is that guy for us, and Scott is definitely using him. So you can see he's all the way back. As far as the least valuable unit, I'm definitely going to go with the defense. I don't even want to.
That's going to be a conversation this week, man.
It's definitely going to be a conversation this week. But again, just like I'll say it, Derek Forrest, man. It kind of reminded me of Cam Curl's surges in Week 1 against Philly. Somebody went down, he came in, the moment was too big, and all this time we were hearing in training camp that Derek Forrest is running the Buffalo nickel, and he's looking the part. And Shawty showed up. There was one play, I was like, okay.
He plays fast, bro.
Man, the way he played through Etienne when he caught that ball, oh my God, bro. Whatever. I was sitting, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, good gracious almighty. That's a play, man. Like, that's.
Hey, where you be watching the games at? You be at your crib with it?
I'll be in the crib, man. You
right.
open invite, man. Come on through, man.
Already. I'm gonna be tapping in.
You know what I'm saying? Blessings for sure, man. But man, young, that right there, and then going towards the end of the game, I was like, all right, we got to touch this guy. We got to find a way to get after this man, I saw it was a meeting in the backfield when Montez got there. I hate the fact that Jamin Davis' sack was taken away by Kendall Fuller. Bro. Let's start there. The least valuable. Oh my goodness!
I was about to say they got back in it because of this shit.
Man, that drive was over. And I think that penalty alone is exactly what gave Jacksonville life because didn't they end up ultimately scoring, or they just ended up kicking?
I think that was a drive they missed the field goal. I can pull up I got the play-by-play up here right now. So they drove down the field and extended the drive, but I think it led to the turnover on down. So they had the 4th and 3 at Washington's 3, and that's when ETN dropped the pass.
Man, I think that drive, that specific sequence of plays is what led to them gaining confidence towards the rest of the game, because at that point, they was like, all right, we on the plus side of the field. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get the ball rolling. Like, that's when you give teams life. And that's where this team needs to learn to play within the means, don't screw up, because we get them like, when you got your foot on somebody's neck, I'm sorry, you got to throttle, especially a team like Jacksonville. And you can say whatever you want. Oh, it's Jacksonville. You don't apologize for circumstance. All you do at the end of the day is go and win the damn game. I'm glad we can say that we did.
Take care of business.
I'm truly glad that we can say so you take care of business. You don't apologize for circumstance. But my goodness, Kendall Fuller, Charlotte, we're going to have our eye on you a lot this season, buddy, because good Lord, it wasn't.
Hey, that double move, we talked about Christian Kirk on this show at least. That double move that got past. Where's that? Sorry, hold on 1 second. Let me mute this tab. Threw me off for a second. That double move by Christian Kirk, bruh. I'm glad we ain't got playing again. I need to look at who are the other slot receivers that we got coming up that's going to be pretty good. I know Amon-Ra St. Brown with Detroit. If him and Jared Goff keep developing some chemistry, this is year 2 for them. And let me look at their stats if I could for a quick second. Like the shit that they got brewing over there in terms from a chemistry standpoint could be another long game for Kendall Fuller or maybe even Benjamin St. Juice. But I think Benjamin St. Juice held his own. It was a little rocky start, but he held his own at the end of the day. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 8 receptions, 64 yards, and a touchdown on 12 targets against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, man, we're gonna see, bro. It's gonna be a long season if these guys can't get their shit together.
I wanted to tap on this before we definitely moved on, man. But
yep, you got the floor.
The tackling was decent, man. But in the run game, I think there was a big blow to us when we lost Big Phil down there, man. And it looked good early on when Phil was in there on those rundowns. He was gonna be a part of that successful defense. Hopefully they can still keep it flowing and everything. But just stopping the run, it was crushing, man. Because then when James Robinson got in, he started doing his thing. I'm just like, damn. Then we got Etienne in the backfield, you know what I'm saying? The blocks are set. I'm like, all right, somebody got to come to make a play, but they just popping, breaking off. I'm like, Charlotte, okay, it's week 1. I can accept some of that sometimes in week 1, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's still getting down to acclimated, but Charlotte, they got to make those plays in the backfield, man. You got to stop these guys in line. And they did that, in spots, but I need continuity there because we cannot let this defense screw us over. We can score with anybody, I feel like, but good gracious, man. You got to make the play when it's there in front of you, man. Have to.
Facts.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Hawk, you got any last thoughts? Or you
man,
I know you upset that survival pool fucked you up.
Yeah, man. You know, man. Hey, look, survival pool aside, man. You know what? I just want the guys to go ahead and play. You know what? It's my DMV reference for the day, man. Because the whole time, you know what? I know y'all know about go-go. I'm gonna need for this team to go ahead and play like the TCB band, just total control every day. You know what I'm saying? Every game. Go ahead, y'all go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Establish dominance early, total control. You know what I'm saying? And just go ahead and do this thing, man. For the rest of the season.
That's a fact. We definitely not done. Obviously, on this side, we're gonna talk about it all week. The situation ain't done. Football ain't done. I'm just glad that the week 1 is under the belts. We got some real football to dive into and really talk about. So, as always, Alex, Hawk, man, I appreciate y'all checking in on the Trapper Dive and just being part of the show as well. Through the comments as well, everybody in the comments. And then, obviously, you all just chopping up with Maul, man, and not letting this fool be alone for a goddamn hour with his own thoughts and shit. But good to see y'all as always, bro. So make sure y'all tap in. If y'all got the time and the opportunity, make sure y'all tap in Wednesday as well, man. I'm looking forward to having y'all on the show as well.
Thanks. Oh, hey, look, one more thing. Get my man Alex to the Washington PR staff, man. Hurry up and do that, y'all.
We got to, bro.
Alex on that PR staff right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
We got to.
Got to.
Yeah, man.
God.
That guy, that optimism and the confidence. I was getting the text, so I gotta. It's hard for me to keep up through the. Bro, I get 1,000 text messages, but I be saying I saw your text message, Alex. Like through the game and shit, man. The confidence and just breaking down and stuff, bro. Is definitely it keeps me balanced. it's like hey, this like I said, but I already knew the game wasn't over yet. When they went down 22, I was more so on the side of like. The offense is sleeping, and I don't think they're gonna lay down forever in terms of Washington's offense. They're a little sleep right now, but just wait until they wake up, bro. You got 11 minutes left in that game, and I'm just glad they actually woke up in due time, in perfect timing for these guys. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all boys.
Man, no doubt, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Hey, so Tyler, I'm with you. Kendall Fuller floated on that deep, flat-footed. He was flat-footed, but also got his hips manipulated too. And on that double move, I think the best thing for Christian Kirk, you kind of saw it, is like he puts pressure on defensive backs from his acceleration and closing that space that you allow him to have. So good on Christian Kirk. Obviously bad on Kendall Fuller. Jackson got burnt too many times. I can't wait to see what the film shows, to be honest with you. On William Jackson, because I heard somebody in here. As a matter of fact, it was Mike, the good man Mike. Excuse me. See how we didn't give William Jackson the MVP or a MVP nod. So that'll be an interesting conversation to see what happened on that side of the ball. So that's a good opinion to have. And then Cole Holcomb, obviously Jay Tyler, I'm with you on this joint as well. Cole Holcomb, you ain't going to escape the LVP when you give a piss poor attempt of a tackle after that turnover and allow that man to run into the end zone on a one-play 11-yard touchdown drive. It looked like it was no fight on these guys. Thankfully, Carson and the offense came in and jolted the team and gave these guys something to fight for right after that. But you ain't escaping that LVP conversation after that shit that I saw. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. Kirk hit that bench post very similar to the route what Dotson ran. What's going on, Anthony? Appreciate you checking in. Cold titty bumped him, bro. I was laughing at that shit. I was laughing at that shit yesterday. Bench post, is that like the corner post type of thing? But let me know. But yeah, like the double move thing in essence. But yeah, it was definitely a good situation from giving these guys life. Having them something to play for, because after that first touchdown with Terry McLaurin, these guys woke up defensively. Thank God. Jonathan Allen came through. Montez Sweat, Daniel Wise, everybody that we talked about in the preseason came through. Duron Payne, that defensive line ended up closing this game out, helping to close this game out for Washington. So very happy to see that. Okay, so I got work to do. I got a ton of work to do. I got to watch the film, and then I got to write some articles. Grind don't stop. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow night. Chopper Dive Podcast, closing up our final thoughts after we rewatch the game. 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then obviously, I'm back Wednesday morning, 8 p.m. So if you are new, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. And if you're new on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button over there, so you'll stay tuned with everything that we got going on with the Trapper Dive side. So I'm out of here. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your day. Happy Victory Monday. All that good stuff, man. Peace.